You ever wonder how close we really are to a visa revolution? What if I told you, and yes, you watching this right now, that there are 10 Caribbean nations whose citizens might soon walk straight into the US without needing a visa? No paperwork, no consulate lines, no interviews. Sounds wild, right? Hold up, before you scroll away thinking this is just clickbait. Know this isn't a theory, it's not fan fiction, and it's definitely not something you'll hear on cable news. This is about real-world geopolitics, diplomatic backdoor deals, and a rising shift in how America sees the Caribbean. This list could change travel forever, stir up heated debates in Washington, and maybe even trigger online chaos. Because some of these countries, they're not what you'd expect, and the reasons why they might be granted this privilege, even crazier. Today we're pulling the curtain back on a US visa waiver expansion that's been quietly brewing. And believe me, whether you're for it or against it, this one's going to leave a mark. Especially that last country on the list. You won't see it coming. Barbados. Let's kick things off with Barbados, a tropical gem that doesn't make headlines for the wrong reasons. If the United States is crafting a list of safe bets for visa waivers, Barbados might be at the top. Why? Because Barbados has proven to be the model of consistency in the Caribbean. It boasts one of the region's highest literacy rates, stable democratic institutions, and a strong, long-standing diplomatic relationship with the United States. But here's the kicker. It's not about what Barbados is, but what it isn't. It's not politically unstable, it's not riddled with corruption, and it's certainly not generating waves of undocumented migration. American policymakers love that kind of predictability. Add to that a growing number of United States retirees choosing Barbados as their dream destination, and you've got a relationship that already feels natural. It's like the United States and Barbados are quietly dating, and visa-free travel might just be the next step. St. Kitts and Nevis' stunning beaches, clear waters, and a geopolitical dilemma. This two-island nation pioneered the controversial citizenship by investment or CBI model, offering passports to anyone willing to drop a few $100,000 into the economy. For St. Kitts, it's a golden goose. For critics, it's a nightmare scenario. The idea that a wealthy foreign national could buy a passport and stroll into the United States without a visa triggers national security red flags. Still, St. Kitts is tightening its vetting process and aligning with US security protocols to prove it's a responsible partner. If the CBI program becomes more transparent and better regulated, the US might just reconsider its stance, especially if there's something in it for both sides. Antigua and Barbuda are playing chess while others play checkers. Like St. Kitts, Antigua runs a CBI program, but what sets it apart is diplomacy. It's hosted joint summits, signed anti-narcotics pacts, and opened its doors to US customs operations. Antigua knows the game, provides strategic value, and you get perks. Their cooperation with US border agencies has been a major trust builder. They're essentially saying, let us help you screen travelers before they board the plane. That kind of upfront coordination is a dream for Homeland Security. It offers more control without compromising diplomatic goodwill, and Antigua knows how to cash in on that, quietly and effectively. The Bahamas is arguably the closest Caribbean country to the United States in every sense, geographically, economically, and culturally. Bahamians visit Miami like it's a weekly commute. The two economies are deeply entangled, and overstay rates are relatively low. Despite being known for financial secrecy in the past, the Bahamas has made significant strides in working with the United States on tax compliance and money laundering issues. As that relationship strengthens, visa-free travel becomes less of a question and more of an inevitability. When a country's most popular international airport already operates like a mini American hub, the writing is on the wall. Saint Lucia might be the most underrated player on this list. It's not the richest, the biggest, or the most famous, but it's been playing a very smart game behind the scenes. Over the last few years, Saint Lucia has rebranded itself as a serious, clean, and forward-thinking country. It's passed transparency laws, invested in education, and aggressively worked to align with US values, especially on digital security and data privacy. That doesn't go unnoticed. And in a region where small size usually equals low influence, Saint Lucia is punching way above its weight by being proactive. Visa-free status wouldn't just be a reward, it would be recognition of serious reforms. Grenada isn't flashy, but it's respected. Instead of chasing headlines, it's invested in peacekeeping, educational diplomacy, and healthcare partnerships with the United States. Its international votes often align with US positions, and its government doesn't make waves. In the world of diplomacy, predictability and loyalty are major assets, and Grenada has both in spades. It's also been one of the more responsible actors in the CBI space, committing to background checks and tighter financial regulation. With the right agreements in place, Grenada could slide into visa-free status with barely a whisper. But make no mistake, the ripple effect would be massive. This is where the conversation gets loud. Trinidad and Tobago is a powerhouse, energy-rich, economically stable, and a key regional player. But it also carries baggage. Critics cite crime rates, drug trafficking, and relatively high visa overstay stats. These issues dominate the headlines and could fuel resistance in US Congress. But the flip side? Trinis have been a major positive force in the US, contributing across professional fields from medicine to law. The US has to weigh the risks against the benefits. And while it's a tough call, a path to visa-free access for Trinidad and Tobago could include phased implementation or strict travel monitoring agreements. Dominica has turned a weakness into a strength. Plagued by natural disasters and limited resources, it's rebuilt its reputation through climate advocacy. It's now seen as a leader in environmental diplomacy, a favorite topic for liberal lawmakers and international coalitions. That makes Dominica a wild card. It's not just about immigration or economics, it's about values. By leading on sustainability, it's become a trusted voice, and its consistent cooperation with you. Yes, the CBI legacy still haunts it, but Dominica may prove that green diplomacy and transparency can override skepticism. No other country on this list has the cultural footprint of Jamaica. From Bob Marley to jerk chicken to Olympic glory, Jamaica is global. And in the United States, it's deeply embedded into Black American culture, music, and even politics. But here's where things get complicated. Jamaica also has one of the highest visa overstay rates in the region. Combined with crime concerns, that gives plenty of ammo to critics. Still, the cultural and economic ties between Jamaica and the United States are too big to ignore. Granting visa-free access would be symbolic, a gesture of trust, but it would also be controversial as hell. Expect this debate to play out on talk shows, news outlets, and within diaspora communities. It's that big. Finally, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's small, it's quiet, but it's sharp. SVG has made a name for itself on the world stage by aligning with global institutions like the International Criminal Court and supporting US policies at the United Nations. It's also maintained a reputation for political stability and transparency. Its inclusion in any visa waiver expansion would send a message. That size doesn't matter, alignment does. But it would also provoke questions. Why SVG over Guyana, a country booming from oil? Why not the Dominican Republic, with its massive population? The answer? Politics and diplomacy. SVG checks more of the Washington-friendly boxes even if it's not the obvious choice. What's really behind this shift? Quiet legislation, growing regional partnerships, and one clear mission: build stronger allies close to home. It's about security, economics, and yes, countering China and Russia's growing influence. But here's the question every American should be asking. Why are we rolling out the red carpet for distant countries while treating our closest neighbors like strangers? If that hit a nerve, you're not alone. Smash that like button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe. Because in part 2, we're naming the 5 Caribbean countries blocked from this opportunity. It's going to get even hotter. Peace, power, and passports. See you in the comments.